Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? How has been the day? Oh, today's Monday. Yeah. Oh my God. That could be a lot for some of us. For the 9 to 5 hours, on-site 9 to 5 hours. If you're not too tired, and I hope you're already home and you're not probably stuck in traffic. If you're in Lagos, uh, already home. Oh, some it's almost 5 o'clock. I think some people will just be closing, and some people will still be at work. Uh-oh. Anyways, for the work from home people, how are you doing? And if you are en route already home, how is everything going? And if you're in another time zone that is probably ahead or before, like, well, how is it going either way? How is it going? Like I always do, I check up on you and your love life. How is your love life doing? How is your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your situationship or your husband or your wife? How are they doing? How are you guys coping? I hope you guys are not fighting. If you are fighting, what's causing the fight? That's why we are here. So let's wait for some few minutes for some one or two people to join more before we kickstart onto this conversation. We'll be discussing the role of counsel or advice on marriage, and should just anybody be able to counsel you because they have experience? Is any experience a good experience? Does it count? Or the experience needs to be worthy? Or once you see that a couple has been married for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, you feel like, okay, this person can counsel me. Let me quickly give you a story that I saw, I think yesterday or 2 days ago on Instagram. So this couple, this lady, married lady, was narrating how a time when she and her husband had issues, quarrel, and they could not resolve it. So they decided to go and meet this couple that had been married for some decades. So when they went to meet the couple, the man was now saying that he blames the husband, the young couple, for giving the wife freedom. That when he first of all got married, that his wife, his first wife, wanted to further her education to have a BSc, but he did not agree, so she left. So obviously and apparently, the second wife that is now with daddy or grandpa is not educated or does not have more than a secondary school leaving certificate. He now said something else that broke the camel's back, that a man should not allow his woman, or a man should not allow his wife to earn more than him. So when when this older couple gave the advice, they just carried their things, went back home and apologized to themselves that, please, let us resolve the issue between ourselves, because some of this counsel that we are hearing, just some of this advice that we are hearing outside is wild. And I remember that I made a post like that some a while ago, so maybe like some weeks ago, where I was talking about the fact that being married for 30 years is not does not really make too much sense if the content of that marriage is not built on principles. Principles are different from life experiences. You can think that this is how they do things, but that is not really how they do those things because you are just used to it, or that was how you grew up. So principles are different from life experiences. So I would want to ask you, mm, this person that you're collecting advice from, this friend, this bestie, this family member, this uncle, this aunt that you're collecting advice from, are they giving you this advice based on um, working principles or from professional angle, or they're just giving you advice based on their distorted, and most of the time they pass this distorted experiences and mindset over to the next, and the trauma keeps going and going and going and going, you know. So who do you think should be in the best place to advise couples? Their parents, their friends, their siblings, their loved ones, or a professional relationship and marriage counselor? So who do you think is best, and why do you think so? Because this will help us know how to navigate through any challenge we are going through. It will help us to know that it's not everything that is happening in your family that you can just tell anybody, you know. So what actually do you think? And I think another thing that I've learned from telling people your personal story is that sometimes some people are not even happy that you are enjoying that marriage to that certain extent. So they tend to advise you in a way that they want to cap whatever enjoyment you are enjoying to that level, and make you feel like, no, you're not supposed to do things like this. So you're not supposed to be doing things for your wife, or your wife is not supposed to be earning more than you, or as a man you're not supposed to be involving yourself in house duty. It makes you less of a man, you know, or different things, because they probably never enjoyed that benefit. They probably did not have that grace, or some of them were not just, lucky enough to marry a good spouse. So when they see someone in a reality that they could not feature in, they let them think that whatever reality they are enjoying is just the maximum, and they should not hope for anything better than that. They won't be like, your own case is even better. In our own time, nothing like that. Oh, and that's also one of the reasons why there are always clashes between mother-in-law and the wife, because a lot of times the mother-in-law is coming from the place of, when it was our time, we were pregnant, we were working, we had children, we were still going to the farm and all of those things. So what was now the big deal? Yeah, because of ordinary pregnancy now, yeah, now you cannot do anything at home. Or because you just gave birth now, you cannot do anything. People should be doing things for you. So some of them come from that bitter angle that they never enjoyed this privilege. So I don't see why you should be enjoying it. I don't see why you should be complaining, because you're even enjoying more than we did in our own time. So, what do you actually think? Should couples, especially young couples, should they always go to elderly couples for marital advice? Have you had any experience where an elderly person gave you advice and you said, age does not equate wisdom? Have you actually had that encounter? Let me know. Let me see your comments in the comment section. And don't forget to give this video a like, a thumbs up, so that more people can join in. So, have you had that experience where you be like, these people, they're just old me. There is no iota of sense. God forgive me. No iota of sense in what they are doing or what they are saying. That how are these people doing? How they even get to 30 years of marriage? And you could just see that some of them is just endurance, really. It's not like they really enjoyed the thing, it's just endurance. And that's why you'll be shocked and surprised. You see couples that are 50 something, 60 something years, they are divorcing. Divorcing at what age? Like, excuse you, you even got married, how many years or decades ago, but it's now that you now know that you want to divorce. You go nowhere. you know And it just boils down to the fact that most of them have they've not been enjoying their marriage from the very first day. We have conversations with elderly women, and they let us know that um please, I'm coming. I want to write a question. 1 minute. Have you ever received an advice that didn't make sense? Uh-oh. I don't think it's going to take more than that. Oh. Have you ever received? Okay, let me remove this and so that this for sense because that is very important. Okay. Have you ever received advice that didn't make sense? Yes. So that's the question. Okay. How did you? Please don't mind me trying. Yeah, I think the Q&A is now live. So as I was saying, so I was saying that yes, there's some people that they will advise you finish. As they're even advising you your mind, they're like, you just quickly talk this talk. Hi, Ruben. You know, so as they're giving you this marital advice, as I'm giving you this marital advice, you're thinking that who sent me? Who asked me to come to this person, or who asked me to come to these couples? Because this their advice, they make sense. And you're wondering, how did these people get to be married for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? And a lot of times it's just patch here and there. And okay, so I was talking about women, like elderly women, married elderly women that complain about their spouse, and they say things like they are just waiting for their children to be settled, for their children to get married. Once their children get settled and they get married, they are going to leave their spouse. And I'm like, what? And when some of these women start recounting their experience in their husband's house, you'd be shocked. And younger people would do the mistake of going to meet such couples for advice. And I'll be like, oh, marriage is endurance. Oh, that's how this men used to behave. Oh, there's nothing you can do. Women, you cannot understand them finish. You just be enduring them. So they give um you know um advices like that, and sometimes people live worse than they got, than how they were after getting some of this advice, if we don't guide our heart. So um let's be careful of the person that would be getting advice from. It's simple as ABC, because some people have been married for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, does not qualify them to give you marital advice. That is my own take on it. Scrutinize every marriage. Don't just look from afar and see that they're having matching outfits and they're doing lovey outside. And let your discernment also lead you to who you think should, be able to advise you, in that marriage. So let your discernment be strong. Let your discernment be really strong. um and like I say, if we need a head start, or if we need to make progress in our business or in our career, or in anything that makes sense that matters to us, we try as much as possible to meet professionals to help us. The same way, also, we should learn it, we should make it a culture to meet with professionals when we are having marital trouble. It will not remove any ear from your body to receive professional advice, pay for professional counseling. These people are not attached to you in any way. They're not going to side you or side your wife because they have nothing to gain from it. They will tell you the things that are supposed to be done based on working principles, not just personal life experiences. Based on working principles. They've gone to school, they've had lot of case studies, they have lot of clients that they can add one or two together and tell you what works and what does not work. So go to them, let them assess the situation. They will ask you crucial questions that needs to be answered, and they'll show you both sides of the coin. They'll tell you the pros and cons to anything that is happening, and then they will now make you or leave you to make your decision. And that's just it, basically. And from there, you are sure and you are proud and confident that whatsoever thing that you are getting is quality, is premium, is not biased. And if you go by whatever thing that they're teaching you, that your marriage will work. So that's my standpoint on this issue, on this matter. So if you are married already or you're about to get married, don't say that my mom or family members, they've explained what marriage is to me and all of those things. So there's no need for me to get marital counseling. You are wrong. You are very wrong, because they'll just tell you what to expect in the future. But sometimes before you are able to get into the future, sometimes you look back at your history. And that's one thing that generic advice does not do. Generic advice will just tell you what is in the future. But for you to function in what is in the future, you need to be able to relate to your history, in as much as the past is already in the past. You cannot still ignore the fact that the past is a building block to who you are presently. And if you don't address some things about who you are presently, that future, you will not even feature in it. Clock it. You will not feature in that future. And that's just it. Nobody is saying that you should live in the past, but it's just like a tree. A crooked tree did not grow crooked over the night. A crooked tree grew crooked over the years. And therefore, if you want to straighten this crooked tree, you cannot straighten it in 1 week. You cannot straighten it in maybe 2 months. That's just the same thing. So we cannot give a crooked tree that motivation speaking, that, oh, aspire to perspire kind of thing. Don't worry, you will be made straight in the next 1 week. Crooked tree, receive life. No, we cannot do that. And if you cannot do that because a crooked tree was not made crooked in yesterday, we cannot do that also for our marriage. We cannot do that. We want to get married. We cannot do that. We need to get the right counsel. Every aspect of marriage: communication, conflict resolution, finances, third parties, that is in-laws, friends, families, every aspect, child raising, pregnancy, every aspect, we need to cover it, because here and there, they're just bits that you are now trying to use your head to figure. But in counseling, in premarital counseling, they will not just leave it to use your head to figure. They'll give you case in points, scenarios, ask you questions to understand your mindset, to understand where you are coming from, so that you'll be able to know where you are going. If anybody is lost, for example, the first question that anybody that wants to help them will ask from them is that, where are you coming from? If I call 911 now and tell 911 that, hey, I think I'm lost, I'm going to so and so place, they will ask you, can you get the nearest description of where you are? So they're not asking because you're going to remain there. They're asking you so that they'll give you the right direction to where you are going. So the same thing happens too. That is what premarital counseling will do for you. It will help you to understand where you are, where you're coming from, so that you can get to where you want to be and at the right time. It doesn't take you to it will not take you 20 years to realize that okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. That should have taken you maybe like 2 months, you know. So that brings us to the end of today's um interaction. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your participation, for the comments, and like if you are here to subscribe to this channel, do so to subscribe so that when we go on live, you will receive a notification as soon as possible for you to join this live. I hope you've been able to learn one or two things. Don't forget, every time we come online, we address issues pertaining to love, dating, relationship, marriage. So feel free to drop in anything that you're going through here, and we would address it to the best of our knowledge. Don't forget that we are trained and certified relationship and marriage counselors. So I'm not here to just give generic YouTube advice. It's a professional counsel that you are getting on a platter of gold, on a platter of YouTube. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Bye.